Your baby is going to die at midnight. 5 words. That's all it took to turn Sarah's world into a nightmare. The boy stood at the door of her hospital room. He looked about 12 years old with messy dark curls falling over his forehead. His tan t-shirt was too big and looked like it hadn't been washed in days. His feet were bare and covered in dirt. But it was his eyes that made Sarah's blood turn cold. They were too old. Too sad. Like he'd seen 1,000 terrible things. Sarah held her newborn baby girl, Emma, closer to her chest. Emma was only 6 hours old, wrapped in a soft white blanket, sleeping peacefully. "What did you say?" Sarah whispered. The boy stepped closer. The clock on the wall read 11:55 p.m. "Your baby is going to die at midnight," he repeated softly. 5 minutes from now. "I'm sorry." Sarah's heart hammered in her chest. "Get out. Get away from us." She slammed her hand on the call button over and over. A nurse burst through the door. Her name tag said Jennifer. "Mrs. Mitchell, what's wrong?" Then she saw the boy. "Who are you? How did you get in here?" "He said my baby is going to die." Sarah screamed. Jennifer's eyes went wide. Sarah looked down at Emma. The clock now read 11:57 p.m. 3 minutes until midnight. "Please," Sarah begged. "Check my baby. Make sure she's okay." A doctor rushed in. Dr. Reeves had kind eyes and steady hands. She checked Emma carefully. She listened to her heart. She checked her breathing. She looked at all the numbers on the machines. "Your baby is perfectly healthy," Dr. Reeves said. "Heart rate is normal. Breathing is normal. There's nothing wrong." "But he knew," Sarah said, tears running down her face. "He knew exactly how many minutes were left. Look at the clock. 11:58 p.m. 2 minutes until midnight." "I want her in the baby unit," Sarah demanded. "The one with all the monitors. I want every machine watching her." "Mrs. Mitchell, that's really not necessary." "I don't care. My baby is not dying tonight." Dr. Reeves looked at Jennifer, then nodded. "All right, 11:59 p.m. 1 minute until midnight. Heart rate 140, a nurse called out. "That's normal." "Oxygen 99%, another nurse said. "Perfect." 30 seconds. Dr. Reeves stood by the monitors. "Everything looks good, Mrs. Mitchell." 20 seconds. Jennifer held Sarah's hand. "She's going to be fine." 15 seconds. The lights flickered. 10 seconds. Everyone in the room stopped and stared at Emma. 5 seconds. Sarah held her breath. "Please, God. Please." 3 seconds. 2 seconds. 1 second. Midnight. For one beautiful moment, nothing happened. Emma slept peacefully. The monitors beeped steadily. Her little chest rose and fell. "See?" Jennifer smiled. "She's perfectly." Emma stopped breathing. Not slowly. Not gradually. 1 second she was breathing normally. The next second, nothing. Her tiny chest didn't move. The oxygen monitor dropped. 99, 95, 90, 85. Code blue. Dr. Reeves shouted. "Infant in respiratory arrest." The room exploded into chaos. She tried to reach Emma, but someone held her back. "Emma. Emma, please." The heart monitor started dropping. "Get me an 4. Dr. Reeves commanded. "No pulse," a nurse shouted. Emma's lips turned blue. Her skin lost its pink color and turned gray. The numbers kept falling. "Come on, sweetheart. Breathe. Breathe." 10 beats per minute. Sarah's legs gave out. She couldn't look away. The heart monitor showed a flat line. "She's gone," a nurse whispered. And then Sarah heard his voice again. "I told you." Sarah's head whipped around. The boy stood in the corner, half hidden by the big machines. His tan t-shirt seemed to glow in the bright lights. I told you she would die at midnight, he said quietly. Then he smiled, a small, sad smile. But I never said she would stay dead. The boy walked forward through the chaos. Nurses rushed past him, but they didn't seem to see him. Doctors shouted orders, but nobody looked at him. He moved like a ghost through the panic. When he reached Emma's bed, he placed one small hand on her chest, right where Dr. Reeves had been pushing. "Not yet," he whispered. "Not like this. Not tonight." A brilliant white light burst from his hand. Dr. Reeves jerked backward. "What the—" The monitors went crazy. Alarms screamed. Numbers jumped all over the screens, strong and steady. Emma's eyes opened. She cried, a beautiful, healthy baby cry. "Oh my God," Jennifer whispered. "She's breathing." Dr. Reeves stared at her own hands like they belonged to a stranger. "That's impossible. She had no pulse. She wasn't breathing for over a minute. She was dead." "She was dead for 1 minute and 17 seconds, the boy said calmly. Sarah pushed forward, breaking free from the nurse who held her. "Who are you? What did you do to my baby?" The boy looked at her with those ancient, sad eyes. "My name is Marcus. Your baby was supposed to die at midnight. It was already decided before she was even born. But someone else decided something different." "What are you talking about?" Sarah demanded. Around them, nurses checked Emma over and over, unable to believe what they'd just seen. "I'm not an angel," Marcus said softly. "And I'm not a demon. I'm something in between." He took a breath. 5 years ago, I was dying on a street corner, 3 blocks from this hospital. It was winter, and I was 12 years old. Homeless. Starving. Sick with pneumonia so bad I could barely breathe. Sarah's heart skipped. "Everyone walked past me," Marcus continued. 47 people saw me shivering in that doorway. 47 people looked away and kept walking. A memory stirred in Sarah's mind. Foggy. Distant. "But one person stopped," Marcus said, his voice cracking. "A young woman walking home from work. She saw me and she didn't turn away. She called 911. She gave me her warm coat. She held my hand and told me I mattered. She rode in the ambulance with me to this hospital." Sarah's breath caught in her throat. "The paramedics brought me here to St. Catherine's Hospital," Marcus said. "I died in the emergency room at 11:47 p.m. But that woman's kindness followed me into whatever comes next." "Oh my God," Sarah whispered. She remembered now. 5 years ago. December. She was working downtown, walking home late after a long day. It was freezing cold and snow covered the sidewalks. A boy with dark curly hair and a tan t-shirt sat shivering in a doorway. His lips were blue. His eyes were glazed. Most people walked past. Sarah almost did too. She was tired. She wanted to get home. But something made her stop. She'd called 911 immediately. She'd taken off her warmest coat and wrapped it around his shaking shoulders. She'd held his freezing hand and talked to him, telling him help was coming, telling him he wasn't alone. "My name is Marcus," the boy had whispered. The ambulance came. Sarah rode with him to St. Catherine's Hospital. She waited in the emergency room for hours, pacing back and forth. Finally, a doctor came out. His face was sad. "I'm sorry. We did everything we could. The pneumonia was too advanced. He passed away about 20 minutes ago." Sarah had cried for a boy she barely knew. A boy whose last moments on earth were spent with a stranger's kindness instead of dying alone in a doorway. Then life moved on. She met David. Got married. Got pregnant. Planned for Emma. The memory faded. Until tonight. "You," Sarah gasped. "You're him. You're Marcus." The boy nodded. "When I died, I didn't go where most people go. I got caught between worlds because of unfinished business. You showed me kindness when nobody else would. You gave me dignity in my last moments. That created a debt. What debt? I just did what anyone should do. But most people didn't, Marcus said firmly. 47 people walked past me before you stopped. Your compassion created a ripple, Sarah. Tonight, that ripple came back. Dr. Reeves appeared, breathless. Mrs. Mitchell, your baby is completely stable now. Her oxygen is normal. Heart rate is perfect. Brain activity shows no damage at all. It's like nothing ever happened. But she was dead, Jennifer said. She had no pulse for over a minute. Marcus smiled sadly. Not a miracle. A balance. Sarah, your daughter was marked for death tonight. It was written in the book of fate before she was born. I couldn't change that. What's written must happen. Then how is she alive? Sarah asked. Because of what you did for me, Marcus said. I was allowed to intervene. I couldn't prevent her death. That was fixed. That had to happen. But I could make sure it wasn't permanent. She had to die at midnight. The debt had to be paid. But she didn't have to stay dead. Sarah's mind spun. So you saved her. I paid back your kindness, Marcus said. You changed my death from meaningless to meaningful. You gave me dignity. So I gave your daughter a second chance. Sarah reached out to touch him, but her hand passed through empty air. He was fading, becoming transparent like smoke. Don't go, Sarah pleaded. Please. Why did she have to die at all? Marcus's voice grew distant. Some things must happen exactly as they're written. If I prevented her death completely, the cosmic balance would be destroyed. Death owed a debt tonight. Death had to collect. But life owed you a debt too, for saving me. So we compromised. Emma could die, but she could also return. 1 minute and 17 seconds. Just enough to fulfill what was written. Just enough to balance the scales. Who decides these things? Sarah whispered. But Marcus was almost gone now, just a shimmer in the air. I don't know who writes the rules, he said. I only know that kindness matters more than anything. You saved me from dying alone in the cold. Tonight, I saved your daughter from dying permanently. The debt is paid. Will I ever see you again? His final words floated through the room like a whisper of wind. Take care of her, Sarah. Teach her to show kindness to strangers. Every person matters. Even the ones everyone else ignores. Because you never know when a single act of compassion might change everything. Then he was gone. The NICU was silent except for the steady beep of Emma's heart monitor. Every nurse and doctor stood frozen, trying to understand what they'd just witnessed. Dr. Reeves cleared her throat. Medically speaking, what just happened is impossible. But your daughter is fine now. Better than fine, actually. It was him, Sarah whispered, tears streaming down her face. Marcus. He saved her. Jennifer stepped forward carefully. Mrs. Mitchell, security searched the entire hospital. No child matching that description anywhere. No visitor logs. No security camera footage. It's like he was never here. Because he wasn't, Sarah said quietly. Not really. He's been dead for 5 years. Emma was alive and healthy after being clinically dead. The hospital kept Emma for 3 more days. They ran every test imaginable. Genetic panels. Brain scans. Heart ultrasounds. Blood work. Everything. They found nothing wrong. Not one single thing. It's like her death never happened, Dr. Reeves finally said, shaking her head in amazement. There's no damage. No explanation. You can take her home. That evening, before leaving the hospital, Sarah asked David to drive to the corner where she'd found Marcus 5 years ago. The old building had been renovated. A coffee shop stood where the dark doorway used to be. But Sarah stood there anyway, holding Emma wrapped in her blanket. Snow began to fall, just like that night 5 years ago. Thank you, Sarah whispered to the cold air. Thank you for saving her. I promise I'll teach her that kindness matters. I promise she'll understand that every person has value. I promise. A cold breeze blew past, and for just a moment, so brief Sarah almost missed it, she heard a boy's voice. I know you will. 10 years passed. Emma grew into a bright, joyful 10-year-old with her mother's compassionate heart. Every Saturday, Sarah and Emma volunteered at the homeless shelter downtown. They served food. They handed out blankets. They listened to people's stories. One cold December evening, Sarah and Emma walked downtown after doing Christmas shopping. The streets were crowded with holiday shoppers rushing past each other. Emma suddenly stopped walking. Mom, look. A young woman sat in a doorway, shivering. She couldn't have been more than 20 years old. Her clothes were thin and dirty. Her feet were wrapped in torn cloth. She held a sign that said, "Hungry. Anything helps. God bless." People walked past her. Hundreds of people. They looked away. They pretended not to see. They hurried by with their shopping bags full of gifts. Sarah watched her daughter's face. Emma's eyes filled with tears. "We have to help her," Emma said firmly. She was already moving forward, no hesitation. Sarah smiled through her own tears. "Yes, sweetheart. We do." Emma knelt down beside the young woman. "Hi. My name is Emma. Are you okay?" The woman looked up, surprised that someone had actually stopped. "I'm okay. Just cold." "Mom, can we get her some food?" Emma asked. "And a warm coat?" Sarah was already pulling out her phone to call a local shelter that could help. "Absolutely." Emma took off her own scarf, her favorite one, with little snowflakes on it, and wrapped it gently around the woman's shoulders. "Here. This will keep you warm." The woman's eyes filled with tears. "Thank you," she whispered. "You don't know what this means. Most people look right through me like I'm invisible." "You're not invisible," Emma said with certainty. "You matter. Everyone matters." Sarah's heart swelled with pride and love. That night, as Sarah tucked Emma into bed, her daughter asked a question. "Mom, do you think that woman we helped tonight will help someone else someday?" "I know she will, baby. That's how kindness works. It spreads. One person to another, like a ripple that never stops." "Like dropping a stone in a pond," Emma said sleepily. "Exactly like that." Emma's eyes drifted closed. "I want to make lots of ripples, Mom." "You already have, sweetheart," Sarah whispered. "You already have." She turned off the light and stood in the doorway, watching her daughter sleep. The daughter who died at midnight 10 years ago. The daughter who came back because of kindness. And Sarah understood the truth that Marcus had tried to teach her that impossible night. Every act of kindness matters. Every person you help creates a ripple. Every time you stop when others walk past, you change the world. Not in big, obvious ways, but in small, powerful ways that echo through time. The stone drops into the pond. The ripples spread. And somewhere, somehow, they come back. If this story touched your heart, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more incredible true stories that will inspire you. Drop a comment below telling us about a time when someone's kindness changed your life, or when you showed kindness to a stranger. Let's keep these ripples of compassion spreading. See you in the next story.